Hey,
Hi,
how's it going?
good. Yeah, it's actually raining here right now in LA.
Oh.
Oh, wow. It's nice and sunny here.
Yeah. Yeah. So how have you been?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
How about you?
Good.
Yeah, we've just been staying busy, playing shows, and trying to work as much as we can.
So I actually just have like a few basic questions here.
Okay.
So just to kind of start it off is, how did the band start and where did you get your name?
Sure. We started playing together when we were in college at the University of Kentucky. So that is where we started as a band. We just started kind of writing music together there and playing. And the band name came because when we first started playing, it was just me and Josh. It wasn't like the full band. It was just kind of us doing some acoustic stuff. So I felt like it was the kind of music that you would play around like a campfire or something. It was kind of spooky, kind of campfire-y music. And so I wanted to take that feeling of like fall and campfires and make it go year round. So Year of October.
So with kind of the style that you guys do, it's something that you don't hear a lot of. So kind of like what made you want to go with this style?
We listened to a whole lot of different music, and when we first started, our music was definitely was folkier, but we always had, the envision of playing, with a full band, and it's one of those things we didn't really ever talk about it directly, but we would just, jam on stuff and learn a lot of different, types of music, and this is kind of what comes out. I guess it was definitely some of our favorite bands, influenced us, but like we're both big fans of like Zeppelin and Black Sabbath, and then also like the soul side of things like Aretha Franklin and
Etta James is one of my favorites. And so it just, all of our favorites kind of just mashed together. And this is what I ended up with.
So that when you mentioned artists like Aretha Franklin, back in 2018, I actually got to visit Motown it was in Detroit.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So
That's so
it was amazing just to see the history of what all the music that came out of that place.
yeah.
Yeah.
The history there, the music history in Detroit is just amazing. It's unbelievable how much good music just came out of that city.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite musicians, like James Jameson's my favorite bass player.
Yeah.
He played on like 1,500 hits or something crazy. He's amazing.
So I saw, I believe it was on the Instagram account that you're in Nashville. So kind
Yes.
of what made you want to be there?
I grew up in Western Kentucky, really far Western Kentucky, the little tip. And we'd come to Nashville a lot. I danced growing up. And so we would come to competitions in Nashville. And I'd always really liked Nashville. And so when we were in college, we knew we didn't want to stay in Lexington. And Nashville is a great music town. And so we got married out of college and moved down here to play music. And so I'd always loved it. You hadn't been here much, had you? A little bit?
Yeah, I've been here a little bit.
Okay.
I had family here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of the same thing. I just, you want to be around where there's a lot of good music, and we've been here 10 years now, and it's been very inspiring for sure.
I've never been to Nashville, but it does seem like an amazing city.
Yeah, it's very fun, and it's the amount of music for, I mean, what feels like still a pretty small town. Like, I feel like we know so many people down here now because we've been here for years, but the amount of good music and that our friends put out and that we can see just on any night is awesome.
Like we could go on a Monday night and see 10 bands around town that are all awesome. It's pretty cool place to be, for sure.
There definitely is like a lot of music here in LA, but like with especially where I live, it's like just north of LA, but like it's just like one of the suburbs outside of LA, and there's still like a lot of music in the city where I live. So there's always like music, no matter if it's concerts in the park or whatever venues they have here or stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I've only been to LA. I've been to LA a couple of times, but I haven't actually seen any shows there. So I would like to come out there and just see some music or play.
For sure.
So I actually noticed it's the Abbey Road poster.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, above our heads.
Yeah. I'm actually in the process of watching it's the Get Back thing on Disney.
Yeah, we haven't watched it yet. How is it?
There are 3 parts, but they're like 2.5 to 3 hours long. But the first episode is just the Beatles writing songs, coming up with all the parts, and leading up to like a TV thing that they did. But then after that, like episodes 2 and 3 is the entire Let It Be album, plus the last concert that they did on the rooftop.
Oh, that's cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, we need to watch that.
Yeah, we need to watch it. We're both big Beatles fans, so we need to check that out.
So, when you're not doing music, what kind of other things do you keep yourselves busy with?
We both read a lot. We read a lot of books and we watch a lot of movies and stuff. I think that's probably our favorite things to do.
Yeah, for sure. We read a lot of books, a lot of movies. I play video games. We both play.
Oh yeah, I play video games.
Play video games, and then hang out with friends and stuff. But a lot of
record too.
I do a lot of recording for other bands as well. Which would be another reason to watch the Get Back documentary and pick up some pointers. But yeah, we just do a lot of stuff. Stay busy.
Yeah, we went and watched The Green Knight a couple nights ago for his birthday. It was back in theaters in here, and so it was awesome to see that.
For sure.
So one of the things that I do in my free time is actually I'm reading. It's the book that Dave Grohl wrote.
Oh yeah.
Where it's just what his childhood was like before joining all like the punk bands and eventually joining Nirvana and the Foo Fighters. Just like what inspired him to get where he's at now.
Yeah, that's super cool.
How is it? Do you like it?
Yeah. One of the things that he brought up is just in his young life, he was just one of those like rowdy kids. So he always got hurt. But then in 2016, the Foo Fighters were playing in, I think, Sweden. And he got so excited that he tripped over like some sort of wire and it caused him to fall off the stage.
Oh yeah, broke his leg.
And just
Oh.
what that and you explain what that whole event was like.
That's so
That'd be
crazy.
interesting. Yeah, that's
Because
wild.
he played the show after he finished
Yeah.
the show, didn't he?
But like usually they do like 2.5 hour shows, and
Mhm.
they were halfway through the second song when that happened.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And,
Crazy.
and he was gone for like however many minutes, and the rest of the Foo Fighters just did like covers.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And one of the songs was Queen's Under Pressure,
Oh, nice.
which definitely did fit the mood, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
which definitely the band was a lot of under pressure, just to
Yeah,
kind
for
of
real.
like to fill the space.
Definitely. Man, that's wild.
Yeah, we need to read that too. Our friend that plays in a band down here called Echo Pilot, he has that band the book, and he
Yep,
said, yeah, Ryan, yeah, he was like, when I finish it, I'm gonna let you guys borrow it. So we need to get that from him.
So, what is kind of one of the things that you've learned while playing music?
I think one of the just how to interact with all different types of other people. I think, and just how to it's because music, even just playing music in a band is it's a it's a type of communication, and so I think just learning different types of people, and maybe somebody you might not even necessarily talk to, in a normal situation. You play music with them and you hit it off with them, and you kind of learn how to communicate with them in that way. And I think that's one of the coolest things about it is you meet all these people that you would never have met in your regular life, playing music. Like we just played an album release show with a bunch of friends, and it was like their album. It was kind of cool. Their album release, they had different people from different bands play on stage with them, and it was such an eclectic group of people. But it all worked well and for the same goal. So it was really neat. I think that's the coolest thing, is just the friends we've made.
And that's really cool. And I also think not letting things get you down, because like you're gonna have bad nights and you're gonna have shows where there aren't a lot of people there. And I think just being able to persevere and being able to know that what you're doing is good and that you love what you're doing, and that's all that matters. And I think being able to get through those hard times really makes you stronger as a band and stronger as a person. And I think that's one thing that we've really learned a lot through the years of doing this.
I think like one of the important things that's about doing something like this is, I definitely would agree that there might be a lot of moments where it's tough, but I can't remember who said this, but one thing that they do enjoy about touring and traveling is being able to play that show, no matter if it's like a half-hour set or if it's like 2-hour set. They always look for that time that they're on stage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it. It's my favorite place to be.
Totally.
So one question that I did want to ask is, whenever you have an idea for a song, how do you like being able to expand on it and eventually record whatever it is?
Yeah. I think when we're like writing music, it kind of depends. On the last album that we did, it was a really collaborative process as a band. We just kind of like, maybe Josh would have a guitar riff that he'd been working on, and then we just kind of jam on it, and it would work its way out as a song during the jam process. But in the past, I would have maybe like a vocal line or a melody, and I would come to Josh with it, and then we could work on it together and try to build the song together.
And I think too, with the recording process, something that I've learned and still am learning and always am learning is you got to have an intention for what you want, but you have to sometimes accept that it's not going to be turn out exactly as you want it to. Like you have to adjust and always be adaptable, because like sometimes some of the coolest stuff that we've done didn't happen on purpose necessarily. Like you had an idea, but it turned out slightly different.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's part of the process, and that's part of the excitement too, because it's definitely a song by song basis, but it's always, each one's going to be different, and they're all going to have different challenges and different ways they need to be approached, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that adaptability is probably one of the good things that we've learned too, in doing this and in playing music, because allowing yourself room to be adaptable and room to grow, I think, is what really has allowed us to continue for doing this for so long, because we can adapt to whatever the situation. And it's nice because some people are so like unbending and they have to do it a certain way, and we're finding ways to be adaptable and to still grow in doing that.
To kind of add to that, I did watch it was a documentary about the band Rush.
Oh yeah.
It was their first tour back after they did a hiatus, and last 3 shows they did in Brazil, and the very last show of that it was in Rio, and they played in front of 40,000 people.
Man.
But they don't have any places that are inside. They have something like a soccer stadium.
Oh yeah.
And that day that they flew in, there was a whole like flood and rain, so the show almost got canceled, and it delayed all the entire setup of the stage and amps, drums, stuff like that. The band never got a sound check, so they had no idea if everything worked.
Man.
And they filmed that concert for a DVD. So they had no practice, no rehearsals for that show.
Wow.
It was just going into it blind.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, that'd be a lot of stress.
Yeah, in front of 40,000 people. Good Lord.
Wow.
But
they might have gotten like the most like real performance because of that, because it was just off the cuff.
One of the songs that they played, which is kind of like a staple for the band, it's the track YYZ.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But when it shows this crowd from the stage, you just see 40,000 fans just jumping up and down.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. That's such a cool song too.
Yeah, that is a cool song.
So what with wherever like the music takes you, kind of where do you see yourself in, like with the band in however many years, like kind of where do you see it?
I think we're still growing. We're writing a new album right now. We're done writing it, but we're recording a new album right now. So I'm definitely working on that and trying to figure out where that is musically and everything, which has been a good challenge. But in the next few years, I see the band continuing to grow, and and hopefully do a lot more releases. And I don't necessarily know musically, just because I think that's something that's always hopefully going to be coming about like organically, and as we jam and as we write things.
I think touring
yeah,
a lot more, hopefully getting out of the United States, because
Yeah.
and maybe getting over to the West Coast more, because
Yeah.
the furthest west we've done is Denver, which was amazing in
Yeah.
August. We went out to Colorado in August and it was awesome, but I would like to maybe see a little bit more of the west side of the US, tour over there, and then just get out of the US and tour in other countries. I think that would be awesome.
For sure.
I've never really been able to explore Denver, just because I was actually in Denver at the airport going from LA to Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Oh,
And the stop was in Denver. But it's kind of hard being able to see the city when you have like a limited time.
Right.
Yeah.
But it is something that I want to do more, is being able to explore more cities and states.
Mhm. I definitely recommend Denver.
Yeah, Denver's awesome.
It's very fun, and there's so much to do in the city, and then hiking outside of the city too.
Nashville too.
Yeah, hit up Nashville too. Nashville's awesome. Get some hot chicken.
That is something that I do want to try. That even though there is a place that sells hot chicken here, but I'm not sure how it compares to the stuff in Nashville.
The stuff in Nashville is very hot.
I like hot food, and I go, the hottest I'll go is medium, and even then it's like you can't feel your face.
But man, the medium and mild is so good.
It's really good.
It was quite a few years ago. There was like I went up to Oregon to see family, and my aunts made it was some sort of like Asian food. Not I think it might have been Filipino food.
Okay.
And it definitely was spicy, but it was so good.
Yeah. That's what I like, when it's spicy, but you still have good flavor. Like it's not just hot to be hot.
Right.
So that's all the questions that I have for the. And if you have any questions that you want to ask, feel free.
Okay.
Do you play any music yourself?
Yeah, I'm actually. I actually do play the drums.
Oh, cool.
Very nice. That's awesome.
But with where I live, I do since drums are so loud, I've had to come up with ways to help lessen the sound, but still be able to play.
Right.
No, that's definitely cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Do you play out with anybody or jam or anything?
I'm slowly asking people just to see if they want to jam. But like it's just like slowly.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the process.
Yeah.
No, I totally understand.
I have one more question though. What's your favorite restaurant in LA? So if we come out there.
If it's just, there's so many different styles, it's kind of hard to choose.
Right.
There's Italian, there's Mexican, there's Asian,
let's say Mexican.
What's your favorite?
Mexican's usually what we do on the road.
Yeah. One of my favorites is a place called El Sol. And
Also,
it's not in LA itself, but it's like in one of the smaller cities outside of LA.
cool.
My family has been going there for years.
Nice.
Awesome.
We love some good Mexican food. Sorry, our cat is messing up something. We got 3 cats. They keep coming in and out of the room. Yeah, we love some good Mexican food.
Yeah.
We like Italian too,
Yeah.
but there's really not any food
Yeah.
we don't like.
That's true.
Well, if we come out to LA, we'll definitely hit you up. We'd love to
Yeah.
meet
Yeah.
you. Go get a bite or something.
Yeah. So I think that wraps up the chats.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Let us know when it goes up for sure.
Okay.
All right. Well, you have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.